All right. Today's Tuesday, the 5th of May, and I hereby call the Plympton Board of Health to order at 17:39. This meeting is being recorded for public viewing by Area 58 Community Access Media. The recording is not considered an official record. The approved minutes of the meeting will serve as the official record of the proceedings. So, today we're here to discuss warrant Article 19. Is there anything else, or that was it?
That was it.
The only thing that I thought of, and I just tossed this in, and we could probably do it under things that the chair didn't know of at the time, was what came up with the Board of Selectmen today about the old townhouse and cooking for food.
Yeah, I saw that
Okay.
on the next agenda.
Oh,
I think we need Kevin.
but he was asking what I don't
I don't
remember
remember.
doing anything.
No.
The only thing I ever remember talking about for that was not even related to us. Was didn't they have an issue with either mold or
Yeah,
the
they
roof?
mold.
Yeah, but that was not in the kitchen.
Do they have a kitchen?
That was my next question.
Yeah, there's a kitchen upstairs. I've been to a couple of functions there, and in the front of the building, as you face the building on the right-hand side, in the front of the building, there's a kitchen.
Interesting. Yeah, so I put it on the agenda for next Tuesday. And I sent the question to Kevin too. So you give him some time to think about it, I guess.
Okay,
But no, I mean, you've been around since the dinosaurs roamed the earth here at the Board of Health, Art, and
Yeah.
if you don't remember, then it was a really long time ago.
I was here when they were extinct.
Yeah, I think we should just figure out what they're trying to do and what they have, and kind of just start fresh because I don't remember any decisions.
I don't. Regarding the kitchen, I know we had a mold issue, but that was all taken care of.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
anyway,
next meeting.
Yep, on the agenda,
next Tuesday.
next Tuesday.
So for Article 19,
This was your letter.
oh, beautiful. So I guess we could start with this. Proposed warrant article, Board of Health Appointment Hiring Authority. This was a letter sent to the Board of Selectmen regarding Article 19. The Plympton Board of Health writes to respectfully request clarification regarding a proposed warrant article that would grant the Board of Selectmen authority to hire or appoint the Board of Health's clerk, health agent, administrator, physician, or other staff. And since then, I think it's been narrowed to admin only.
Has it?
I saw the text of the warrant article and I think it was pretty tailored just to that. So under Mass General Law 1127, boards of health are authorized to choose a clerk and employ the necessary officers, agents, and assistants to execute the health laws and the regulations of the board. Massachusetts law also outlines certain mechanisms by which towns may alter Board of Health structure, including those described in Mass General Law 4121. An independent Board of Health structure has long been a feature of Massachusetts public health law, intended to ensure that the health decisions are made based on public health expertise and statutory law responsibilities. The ability of a Board of Health to select and supervise its own staff is an important component of that independence. Removing the board's authority to appoint or employ its staff would significantly undermine this independence and may be inconsistent with the statutory framework governing boards of health. For these reasons, the Board of Health opposes the proposed article. We respectfully request the Town Council review the proposed article in consistency with Mass General Law 11127 and Mass General Law Chapter 41 and 21. Before the annual town meeting warrant is finalized, our intent is to ensure that any proposed changes are clearly aligned with mass law and that the board's share a common understanding of the legal framework involved. So,
Do you guys have a copy of the reply from town council?
On my phone.
so I think basically what they had said was, yes, you're correct, but under the Home Rule Act or law, they can petition the state legislature and get the governor to sign to allow
Right.
them
so
to do their own version.
The wording that I got was, although it appears the selectmen and town council understand that the Board of Health has authority to hire their own employees pursuant to General Laws, Chapter 111, Section 27, and that therefore the Board of Health is the appointing authority for its administrative assistant, they seem to believe there is some extraordinary circumstance which warrants a town meeting article and an act of the legislature. Pursuant to Section 8 of Article 89 of the Mass Constitution, the Home Rule Amendment, which authorizes the selectmen to submit a petition for special legislation to vary provisions of the general laws to better suit their unique circumstances. They state this change is intended to bring the position into line with the appointing authority for staff with similar duties in other town departments, and it does not interfere with the substantive authority of the Board of Health, including the authority to appoint a health agent. And then I think what I found out was that this, in reading, I only read the draft of the article, I haven't seen the real one, but it doesn't include employees appointed by other elected boards, including the Board of Assessors or Planning Board or anybody else. And then I guess my concern would be there doesn't seem to be any thought given to the accompanying monetary cost to the taxpayers, legal bills, et cetera, to abolish the administrative assistant to the Board of Health position. They do state through town council that health agent positions wouldn't be affected, but, are they setting a precedent? And also, not quite sure what it's about. I mean, if it's personal, I think it's short-sighted to spend money to do this when the person in the position right now is a senior citizen. If it's not personal, I don't see how it makes sense to do it and not include other assistants of other elected boards. And I did find history of the different positions that have been here at the Board of Health: temporary office clerk, administrative assistant to the Board of Health. I mean, I was hired as the office clerk. You had an administrator. So the Board of Health hired Ms. Batchelder. Board of Health hired Mrs. Gabriel. And the Board of Health hired me. So that's the history of that. And then also for health agents / assistant health agents, everything I could find shows that the Board of Health interviewed and hired or appointed all of their health agents and assistant health agents all the way up until our current agent in 2019. So what the board would usually do is then send a letter to the treasurer saying, please be advised that the board has hired, Mrs. X as an office clerk, or the Board of Health has hired Mr. So-and-so as assistant health agent or health agent. So the history shows this is the way that it's done. But I guess the issue is they can spend the money to do a town meeting article and an act of the legislature in order to change it.
I think you're spot on there with the precedent is there's probably plenty of precedent showing that the Board of Health controls its own hiring and its own functions, and really the radical departure from that is what they're proposing now. It's kind of an experimental structure of town government. The only time where it's really appropriate for the Board of Selectmen to be choosing staff is if they're functioning as the Board of Health, and that would be for a very, very small town that just doesn't have one where they need people to wear multiple hats. But they have an independent board right now, and I think it's important to keep us independent, and that includes hiring our own personnel in all positions.
Yeah, I would concur that I firmly believe that the Board of Health needs to be the hiring authority for anyone that works for the Board of Health. We know what's needed. No one else does. We know what the particulars are and the knowledge required, any of the expertise. No one else in this building knows what we know as far as hiring is concerned. Secondly, and I'm going to touch on this, I think it could be made, a case could be made legally that this is targeted to this board and perhaps an individual, because there are other executive whatever, and that's not included. Now, if that's what the Board of Selectmen wants, it should be done across the board with everyone. I believe the law says you must treat everyone equally, regardless of what it is. So therefore, there are other departments that should be involved in this. They're not. Okay, so I have a major problem with that. Additionally, this is not the first time that this has happened where a Board of Selectmen in this town is not happy with an individual. And they have tried to get that position changed through this same process. They did it with the highway surveyor, which is now called, the position is called the highway superintendent. And that was done for a specific reason. I'm not going to get into everything here, because if legal action is taken and this does not go away, then I think it should be taken. But, I mean, I just happen to have, and you can see the date. And I was asked to be one of the people to take the position over.
Okay.
And I refused. So I do have intimate knowledge of that. And they wanted to put that position, again, do it with town meeting and then get that changed, just like they did with the highway surveyor's position. That was changed. One of the former fire chiefs was going to retire, and they wanted to keep that person on, and so they were going to go through this process again, except I think that individual and one of the selectmen had a little tete-a-tete, and they skipped over it after they went through the legal process. But that was a punitive thing, and I think that we might be experiencing the same thing here. So, yeah, no, it's not right. It does not benefit the community as far as public health is concerned. And the board may change, and then who knows what the next board will look like? And we could be in, who knows? And
The other thing that you'll probably have to get some type of ruling on is currently there are files and reports that sit within the Board of Health that either due to HIPAA or other concerns don't go anywhere else. If the position that I currently hold, it reports to the Board of Selectmen, then could one of them come in and ask to see who has Hep C, which is not something that we share outside of this board? Or could they come in and say, I want to see the pictures from that boarding house that you just went to and the confidential investigatory reports or any of that?
well, let me just interject this on that, to your point. And if someone came in from the board, let's say it was changed, and Board of Selectmen has the authority, what's to prevent a member, as you say, coming in and that person is refused to look at something which is covered by HIPAA or other confidential reasons, then technically retaliatory measures could be taken against that person. And that's why the legislature designed it the way they did, is to prevent outside interference in the Board of Health, so that no one can put pressure on them. They're kind of insulated. And they're trying to take that away. And if they have a problem, then they should come in here and sit with the Board of Health and talk about it. We have not seen anybody in here, and I have not, and I say hi to both of the Board of Selectmen members. Nothing has been ever brought up to me. I don't know about Jared.
No.
Um,
And I don't think Brad either. So
The other reason I remember
my
that,
question is, what is going on?
I know that Jack, when Jack Doyle was the chair, the way that he explained it to me was the reason why the Board of Health and their employees are autonomous is so that in a circumstance where the board has to go and investigate, another town building or another town department, they don't have to worry about any kind of undue influence to stop an investigation or, steer an investigation in a different direction. I mean, since I have been here, we have dealt with mold in the old townhouse. We have dealt with questions about mold here in our basement. We have dealt with other things of that nature. Before I started here, I know that there was mold in the Dennett. Those things, I think, need to be dealt with without having to worry about any undue influence from any other town department so that the public health can be maintained.
Absolutely. I think even if you cast all the undermining and the influence aside, just to the average taxpayer, it's an untested form of government that once we enact, the town is going to have to defend and clarify with town council hours every time a challenge arises. And, I think apart from it affecting our performance, I think it's just going to cost the taxpayers. They're going to have to pay to enact it. They're going to have to pay to petition it to the legislature. They're going to have to pay for the legal time, every step of the way after it gets approved. And then any challenges that result down the road, it's...
I think the other thing that may be just a bit short-sighted is currently, as most know, we just have a part-time health agent. So Kevin is unable to fulfill all the duties that a health agent would do when they work full-time for a town. And I have printed out 3 different examples of what administrative assistant to the health agent, what assistant health agents do. And here in Plympton, right now, I do a lot of the administrative work that would fall to a full-time health agent. So if the Board of Selectmen is successful in abolishing this position and creating their own position, then what happens to those specialized duties? I
Yeah.
guess is my question.
Yeah, you definitely wear many hats.
Yeah, and again, it's you know, Plimpton is, I guess, unique in that, you know, we've never, I don't think, been able to have a full-time health agent, you know, not even 20 hours for a long time. And therefore, you know, all of the administrative stuff is really kind of done in here. And I don't know that anybody coming in to abolish the position and then create their own would be able to make sure that all of these things would still be taken care of. So.
In the town council's response to our letter, he said, this was just to, I'm paraphrasing, get your position
Bring the
in.
position into line with the appointing authority for staff with similar duties.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that seems less of a, you know, a broad thing, and it seems much more targeted because it really only affects one position and one board and one individual.
Right, I know that my predecessor did not work Wednesdays. So her hours were not completely aligned with everybody else in the building. That's not the case anymore. I mean, we are open the exact same hours as everyone else, though we don't need to be. But we are, you know, just to be team players and to make things easier for people. So I guess I don't understand that part. I mean, I take the same, you know, I'm in the same pay rates under wage and personnel as all the other positions. I have the same vacation and personal and sick time as everyone else. So I guess I just don't see where it's not aligned.
Well, in my opinion, it's very targeted, so.
Well, if so, that's short-sighted because
Oh.
I'm an elderly woman.
But it's very short-sighted. This whole thing is, and it's a waste of time. We've seen it before, or I have anyway. That's one of the drawbacks when you get to be my age. Sometimes you've seen too much. So yeah, and I can go deeper too.
Right, yeah. So I guess in our agenda, we did mention to discuss Article 19, and then I think it says also next steps. So is there any next steps that you're thinking of, and is there anything I can do?
I think, I don't know if there's anything that we can do other than have this board at least just take a position and also see if we all agree on making that position known, either in online or in print or however.
Well, I think, yeah, no, I think we need to put it in writing to the Board of Selectmen. I think that's the first step. And secondly, all of the above, whether it's online, and then I think ultimately we deal with it on town meeting floor.
Okay.
And that could be fun.
I think it would be good to put something on the Board of Health's webpage, even if it's just our letter or maybe a further objection to Article 19, and obviously we would get Brad's opinion on it as well, and craft a statement that he would be on board with, or if he's not on board with it, he can craft an additional statement.
Yeah,
But I think just because this directly affects us, we should give our input and let it be known.
I agree.
Okay, so for timing purposes, Wednesday, May 13th is town meeting,
A week from tomorrow.
a week from tomorrow. A week from today is our meeting.
Yes.
I see. Well, I think we can come up with something that we all agree upon.
So if you come up with something, everybody works on it, and then can you deliberate at the next meeting? Because you really can't deliberate outside of an open meeting, correct? So, I mean, you can put your current letter on the website, you can put the current letter on Facebook, you can publish the current letter in the newspaper. You can do all of those things because that's already been done. But as for deliberation on a newer or more, a deeper statement, you know, you can all think about it individually and then come together next Tuesday. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a quorum right now. With 2 out of the 3. And we,
Call Brad if you want.
in the past, we have
He may be
voted to allow remote participation
Right.
in a board meeting.
okay.
So, I mean, we could get Brad on the phone. I don't know what time his meeting is,
7:30.
7:30? So he's,
I'm gonna text him right now.
So did you get the final, all the articles for town meeting, does that come out to everybody in the mail?
it's online.
Don't they actually mail it?
Yeah, but
Because I haven't got it.
we haven't either.
Yeah.
But it is online.
Yeah.
I
Trying to
printed
get
it out,
How many articles out there?
19. So that one's the very last,
Buried?
very last.
Because don't they usually open up and then they do
They do the
meeting
special
And then go back to
at what, 8
8 o'clock, something like
or
that?
7:30 or 8 o'clock, yeah.
Does it start at
7.
7?
Yeah,
So maybe
that's,
7:30 they do the special? And then
yeah,
go
and then
back
they go back to, and the special's usually no more than a half hour.
Yeah.
Well, if we do have a quorum, it seems like we're in agreement.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
I mean, I think we should put it to a vote whether or not we support or reject this this warrant article, and then whether or not we want to, you know, dial in our statement here and put a finer point on it. And just to put it, you know, this was for the selectmen's purposes, and they've responded, and now I think we should put it to the taxpayers, something that's, you know, for the, tailored for their consumption.
Yeah, I think perhaps we'd address it to the residents of the town of Plympton,
Okay,
and then the Board of Selectmen, and then the interim town administrator, and go from there. But I think the first choice would be the residents of the town of Plympton,
Okay.
in that order.
All right.
Just a thought, if you think it should be different.
No, I think absolutely it should be that, and it seems like we're in agreement that basically uphold what Mass state law already
Yeah.
provides.
Yeah, what the legislature designed, boards of health.
So is there a motion on the table?
I would make a motion. You're gonna ask me to repeat that? To what I just said. Residents of town of Plympton, Plympton Board of Selectmen, and the Plympton interim town administrator.
The motion is,
All right. I'd like to make or you've made the motion.
I made the motion.
All right, good.
And we-
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. So,
so the motion is to send a statement.
send a statement to the people of Plimpton that it's our wish that we,
Do not support Article 19.
yes, and uphold the state law.
Do not support Article 19 and attach that.
Yeah, we can get this on the website, and we'll make an additional statement and, saying similar.
I mean, if you draft an additional statement, you can certainly look at it next Tuesday, right? Wow, this is an awful lot for an elderly woman to try to remember, but I'll do my best.
Oh, Brad says he can call in. You want to do it again?
Yeah, sure. We'll see how he feels about the whole thing, and
Yeah, I mean, just give him a synopsis. Gotta eat these before they melt. It's getting hot.
well, the sun's shining on it through the.
I said, call when you're ready. We are waiting.
Let's see which phone he uses.
Oh, do you have a better phone? With
Well,
I mean, I have a speakerphone, but I don't know if.
What his phone, but We have,
All right.
we have this office phone.
well, he
Oh,
probably,
he's calling me.
Okay.
Brad, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, wow. Nice and loud. All right. We have the chairman, Brad Cronin, available for a vote. So, we'd like to do a motion to take a vote on the Board of Health rejecting Article 19 and supporting the existing Massachusetts law on
Okay.
boards of health hiring their assistants.
Maintaining the autonomy of Board of Health personnel.
Absolutely. Do we have a second?
All right, I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
aye.
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 Chair votes aye. 3-0, excuse me. All right, thanks, Brad. Do you have any input you'd like to add?
No, I mean, I think we all know the significance of maintaining autonomy with the Board of Health, and we just need to keep that. So I'll be at the town meeting to speak on the motion, on the article.
All right, thanks for calling in, Brad.
All right, have a good night.
Bye. Perfect.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Unless there's anything else.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, motion adjourned at 18:14.